Hello, everybody. My name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live here in Memphis, Tennessee, in Shelby County. And today is February the 23rd, 2014, early Sunday morning. And the time is 2:30 a.m. And I'm going to put yesterday's date, only for the very reason I have a lot of things to do. I had to work yesterday Saturday at a Amerifry on Vance Avenue, and went to work from 6 a.m. and got off 1 p.m. And after I got home, I had some things I needed to do, like I had to try to give it some rest first after I got home, got my little rest, and I had to finish some homework, classwork, homework um, from Monroe College online, and I had a test I had to do, so that took up some time. But even while I was doing my test, um, I had some online problems, connection problems. I had to call Comcast, you know, but resolved it. Got that situation resolved. Then I was able to go back online, and I was able to do that test again. You know, finish the test. You know, and uh, and that's mainly the reason why I was kind of later than what I usually be, because I had to do that test, and then online I had a little problem online with the connection. But while I was at work, uh, had another little accident on the job. It was an accident, and I ended up getting another bump on my head in the same place that I got it last time. Yeah, I bumped my head again. Uh, this time, I got a little bump right here. Yeah, right there. Same place. Bumped my head again. This time, I wasn't trying to hang an overweight bag. This time, I bumped my head. I had bent over, I was in the process of hanging bags, but the frames that I use, that's used to hold the bags by placing dirty soil in the bag. Well, I was in the process of putting the frame in the position so the people that's up on the conveyor belt can push the dirty soil laundry into the bag. So there was some dirty laundry on the floor, and I bent over to pick the dirty laundry off the floor, and I didn't pay attention to the rail that was down there. And when I bent over, I bumped my head on that rail and gave me a little bump in the same place where I got that bump last time from trying to hang that overweight bag. And just gotta be more careful. But excuse, like I said, I'm not gonna be long on this video because I need to give me some rest. But on my previous video, I've been talking about the background check. I've been hired as a permanent new hire at Amerifry on Vance Avenue, and I was working at Amerifry through Swift Staffing, a staffing agency out there on Kirby Parkway. And like I said, I got hired permanent. So, and they had to do a background check. Even Swift Staffing did a background check. And but for me to get hired from being just from being a temporary to a permanent hire at Amerifry, had to do a drug test, they had to do a background check, and background check cleared, drug test came back negative, no drugs and alcohol in my system, and got hired permanent in a marathon. excuse me. And but that's not the first place I worked. But I want to make sure to get this in the mindset of background check. So now the background check cleared. This is not the only place I work. So I'm gonna take a few moments. It ain't gonna take long. I want to go over. I want to make sure I inform everyone of the places that I've worked and had background checks done in the past. And excuse me, because there's no excuse. There's no excuse for the nonsense that's been going on. So I got my cards. Okay, like I said, uh, you know I'm a convicted felon with 2 sex charges, and I went to prison on May 13th, 1992. I mean not 92, 94, 1994. May 13th, 1994. I was arrested. I got out of prison on May 13th of 2009. Did 15 years day for day. Excuse me. And when I got out of prison, I started going to Remington College on Non-Connor Boulevard in that medical billing and coding. Did it for 10 months. From August of 2009 to May of 2010. I wasn't working. I wasn't working. I didn't start working. The first job that I started working when I got released from prison in 2009, I started working for Labor Force Staffing Services. And Labor Force Staffing Services is on East Shelter Drive in Memphis, Tennessee. And they sent me to work for 4 days. It was a 4-day assignment. And it was for facility services. And what they was doing, they was going to clean the Kellogg's warehouse in Rossville, Tennessee. And I did that from January 14th of 2012 to, it was a 4-day assignment. It was like around that time, around the Dr. Martin Luther King holiday. I only worked 2 days, but it was a 4-day assignment. And like I said, it was from January the 14th to January the 17th of 2012, but I only worked 2 days. And like I said, it was through Labor Force Staff Service, and that's the first job that I worked. They had to do a background check. So, okay. Now, the second job I worked after I did that 2 days, when it was a 4-day assignment, I did work in 2 days. The next job I got was Select Staffing. And Select Staffing, and the one that I worked at was on Willow Lake Boulevard. Select Staffing, that's the one that I worked for. And they assigned me to Technicolor Distribution Company out there on South Ridge Boulevard. Out on South Ridge Boulevard, that's what the Technicolor Distribution Company, that's what I worked for. And they did a background check and a drug test. Labor Force Staff Service did a drug test and a background check. Select Staffing did a drug test and a background check. Select Staffing out there on Willow Lake Boulevard did a drug test and a background check. And like I said, labor force, staff service, did drug test, background check. They sent me. I was working for Omni Facility Service, and they sent us out to Kellogg's warehouse out in Rossville, Tennessee. It was on January 14th, 2012 to January 17th, 2012. Did select staffing and also labor force, like I said, is on East Shelby Drive. And select staff, like I said, is on Willow Lake Boulevard. And they sent me to the technical distribution company out there on South Ridge Boulevard from January 27th, 2012 to April 20th, 2012. The reason why I didn't keep working there because a security guard out there had intentionally tried to provoke, tried to start some mess, and then I was told to leave. So that's the reason why I didn't keep working there. But the point is, select staff did a drug test and a background check. Now the next place that I worked after I left the technical for select staff, I used to attend South Parkway East Church of Christ out there on South Parkway, out on South Parkway, South Parkway East Church of Christ out there on South Parkway, right there on the corner. And there's a man that attended that church named Brother Cleotho Nash. He owned his own janitorial service, him and his wife and everything. So CMP Cleaning Systems, right here in Memphis, Tennessee, out there on South Mendenhall Road, here in Memphis, Tennessee. I used to work for him. Janitorial work, like doing floors and things like that. Sweeping them up and then buffing the floors. And other little odds, cleaning the bathroom, things like that. Excuse me. But that's a background check. Drug test, background check, all that. And I worked for him from around May 14th, around 2012 to July of 2012. And I stopped working with him because he just didn't really need me no more. So I went and got another job. And the next job I worked for, I went back to the same select staff. They got me the job at their technical distribution company. Well, select staffing gave me a job from July of 2012 to August of 2012 at the airport industrial park out there on Delp Street. On Delp, D-E-L-P, Delp Street, here in Memphis, Tennessee. And again, by me working for select staff, they already know it's a drug test background check. And then after I stopped working there, I went back to labor force staffing service out there on East Shelby Drive, here in Memphis, Tennessee. And I worked for them from August of 2012 to around September of 2012. And I was they sent me to SMB Packaging in South Haven, Mississippi. In South Haven, Mississippi, that's where they sent me. And it's out there on First Industrial Drive in South Haven, Mississippi. That's where they sent me. That's a background check and a drug test. And after I stopped working for them, that's when I went to Kelly Services. Kelly Services out there on Paragon Place in Memphis, Tennessee. And that's the Kelly Services that I work for, the one out there on Paragon Place in Memphis, Tennessee. That's the Kelly Services, and they sent me to the Nike out there on East Shelby Drive. That's where I was assigned from December of 2012 to February of 2013. December 2012 to February of 2013. Kelly Services did a drug test and a background check. I remember that because Kelly Sheridan sent me to a drug facility, testing facility down inside of Mississippi. Out there on, matter of fact, it's on Goodman Road. I still remember. It's on Goodman Road. You know, some little message on the laptop. But like I said, that Kelly Sheridan, they sent me to Nike on East Silver Drive from December 2012 to February 2013. And that's Kelly Sheridan out there on Paragon Place. And the Nike out there on East Silver Drive. And that's a drug test and a background check. And then after I left there, that's when I went back and got a job at Select Staffing again. I went back to the same Select Staffing out there on uh, Willow Lake Boulevard. I went to the Select Staffing. After I left, matter of fact, after I left that February, then in around March of 2013, they sent me to One Source Industries on Delp Street, DELP, the same street that the Airport Industrial Park is on. As a matter of fact, it's across the street. The Airport Industrial Park is at 4444 Delp Street, and across the street is One Source. They're right across the street. You can't miss it. All you gotta do is at 4467 Delp Street, DELP, Delp Street, right across the street from each other. And that's where I work. I work right there, but that's a background check and a drug test. And then after I left there, I said, around March, April, yeah, around April of 2013, from March 2013 to around April 2013, yeah, right, April 2013, I started working for Swift Staffing. Swift Staffing is out there on Kirby Parkway. That's a background check and a drug test. And they sent me to Swift Staffing. The first place they sent me to was WM Bar, BARR, Bar, WM Bar and Company. And matter of fact, it's two of them right next door to each other. The one I was working at, I think it's 2170 Bowie Street, Buoy, Buoy, Bowie Street. I worked there, matter of fact, like I said, from April of 2013 to around May, June, early June, late May, early June 2013. Because I had called and switched that and working 10 hours over there. And I was trying to go to school, so I called and told them. They said, and talked to Swift staff and let them know that 10 hours, I just couldn't work no 10 hours and try to go to school. So they gave me another assignment. So when she told me, you can go work in America for 8 hours. So I said, from 9 to 5. I said, okay, yeah. So that's how I ended up over, through Swift staffing out there on Curry Parkway. They sent me to America. They on Vance Avenue. I had to do a background check and a drug test. And now I done got hired permanently. No longer work for Swift Avenue, in that way. I'm no longer temporary, permanent hire at America on Vance Avenue. And then I had to do a drug test out there on Airways. So I forgot the name of the place, but I know it's on Airways Boulevard, on Airways Boulevard. And they had to do a background check. So that was the main thing. Thing I wanted to make clear But the background check, that is not the first job I had. And when it comes to a background check and a drug test, even when you go to school, like when I was at Remington College, that's a background check. They check your background. And the Brown University, they background check. Monroe College, background check. So there's no excuse, none whatsoever, no excuse, none, no excuse for that nonsense, none, period. And like I said, when I got out of prison, I went through the second chance ex-felon program. You had to qualify. You couldn't have no two felonies running consecutive, but you could have two felonies running concurrent, like one charge. So that's how I qualified. Two charges. The only run concurrent, you qualify for the second chance ex-felon, and I qualified. So there again, no excuse, no excuse. And like I said, I'm not gonna be long to end this video, but I want to make sure that I continue to emphasize the drug test and the background check. Drug test and background check. No excuses for that lying. None whatsoever. No excuse. None. Not gonna tolerate it, not gonna put up with it. And like I said, I know some people moving around. And no excuses. That's all I got to say. None. No excuse. Do it sound like an excuse? Do it sound like what I just gave, what information I just discussed? Do it sound like there's an excuse? Do it sound like remedy cotton? Do that sound like an excuse for that nonsense? No. Second chance ex-felon, do that sound like an excuse? And I qualified? Do it sound like that's an excuse? No. Ain't no excuse. No excuse. None whatsoever. No. Zero. No excuse. Again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live here in Memphis, Tennessee, in Shelby County. And like I said, all those, I want to thank all of my fans, supporters for your encouragement. And like I said, I don't have any doubts. Don't have any doubts about my entertainment, music, intention. Don't have any doubt. 2014, BrightShine will be releasing his music, will be initiating his entertainment initiatives. So I don't have to have any doubts whatsoever. But like I said, I got to continue to make sure that the drug test and the background check will never be an issue. And till next time, take care of yourself. I wish you all the best.